From the Black Swan Media Studios, deep inside a secret underground bunker, we're speaking to freedom-loving patriots from all around the country and the world. Welcome to the Resistance. This is John Crump, live.
And we are back, and it is a wonderful day. We are back in our home studios. We have been at GOA Goals over the past few days, but we are now all home and having a great time here. My freaking mouse, is something wrong with it? Let me see. Yep. Oh yeah, there it goes. Guess it must have got hit or something. But yeah, we're going to be talking about a wrap up of goals and everything that we did and saw, and we are joined by Flying Rich. We are going to have a representative from GOA coming on soon. But before then, let's go ahead and talk to Flying Rich. How are you doing, Flying Rich?
Good. I was going to say, I'm assuming you saw Lewis this weekend. I saw Lewis.
Yeah, I did.
I think all right. So a couple of things are kind of perplexing to me about events. So at something big like SHOT Show, it's easy to miss somebody. Like, I know one year I saw Brandon Herrera once, and I was like, oh, I want to say hi to him, but, you know, he looked like he was busy. I'm like, maybe I'll see him later, and you don't. Or like this year, you're like, hey, you want to meet Sebastian Gorka? I'm like, yeah, tomorrow. I'll see him tomorrow, and I didn't. Goals wasn't that big, but it was big enough that like you'd like see somebody, say hi to them, and then not see them the rest of the time. Like there were people at range day I did not see, and I was there all day long. And you know, same thing with media day. I was there pretty much all day, every day. And there are people I'd see once and then I wouldn't see again.
Yeah, that is something that is definitely that definitely happened. I think it was pretty damn big for being a first year.
Yes. It actually, I was talking with Chris from the 740. So I stayed with Chris. We shared a house, and I barely saw him. Like, you know, I saw him at the house. Occasionally I didn't at night, but in the morning we rode together and had breakfast. But that was pretty much it. After that, boom. I figured I'd be like seeing Chris from the 740 a whole bunch, and you know, it's just how the show goes. And so it was a lot of fun. Saw a lot of people. Had I can't show it to you, but I have it like in case I do another show where I can handle guns. Had at the Anderson booth, we had my gold Frag Out Designs AR. Dark had his. Frag Out sent one in, so there were 3 Frag Out laser, custom laser guns at the Anderson booth. So that was real cool. I actually threw my gun out on the Anderson table for range day, so a bunch of people were shooting it. I'm hoping to see content with that. So yeah, that's it was up, and I see Lewis coming in. So
right, bring him on.
I got to click the button. Let's see. Add to stage. Hey, Lewis, what's up?
You know, typical Cuban, always running late on Latin time.
Yeah. It's LPT, Latin people time.
That's right, brother.
Like that mug. Look at that. I got that shirt. Save a pup, abolish the ATF.
And it is full of something that the city of Knoxville did not have. Bacardi and Coke.
Bacardi and Coke? Why is it just whiskey there? Is that?
I went to 4 different bars and they didn't have Bacardi.
Is that like a New York thing? Every bar in New York has Bacardi.
Every bar in Florida has Bacardi.
Right, right. That's weird. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was a fun time. There was a lot of people there. I mean, I got to meet a lot of people. A lot of our audience was actually there, which was kind of cool to see.
Oh, hey, we got Jordan Vinro in the audience.
I spent a lot of time with Jordan there.
Yeah, so I think probably the most time I spent anywhere was probably at the Gideon Optics house. So hung out with Jordan, you, Dark. You know, that was like probably the most amount of time I saw people more than once. Like I think Lewis, I think we bumped into each other twice.
Yes. Yeah. Between me running around like a chicken with my head cut off, managing everything twice. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
But the second time was fun because that was at Henry's.
Yeah, yeah, good people. I love their stuff. Actually, one of the first videos ever did on YouTube was with Hank Strange shooting a Henry. What is it? It was the Henry. It's like a stainless steel. I forget what they call it, but it was designed for being in rough environments where it's
They're all
corrosion
weather
resistant.
model.
Yeah, all weather. That's it.
Yeah, the all weather.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
got to hang out with 2A EDU. His wife and his daughter were there. That was cool.
It was a great, man. It was fun. It was fantastic for our inaugural event. It went off
yeah.
without a hit. We had some hiccups setting things up, but it went off without a hitch for the most part. Everyone that I spoke to, everyone that I bumped into, they said, "We love it. We'll be here next year." So it was fantastic, man.
So one of the funny things is I looked like Google Maps and Google Earth where the range was going to be with respect to the house we rented, and the Google Earth does not show topology. Maybe there's a view you can do, but I did not. Holy cow, that was like, if you had a sports car, good luck. I rode with Chris from the 740 in his truck. I think my Rexus SUV or pseudo SUV would have done okay, but if it was rainy and wet, I don't know.
Yeah, driving in Tennessee ain't like driving in Florida.
Right. For sure. Yeah, the range day was great, except it was hot AF. And I normally drink water on range days and stuff like that, but you had that, what is it? liquid IV, and it's like I did one of those. I'm like, I ought to go back and grab another. They were all gone. I was teasing that I want to bring a air-conditioned inflatable tent to the show next year, and charge admission because it was hot.
I like it.
But good range day. It wasn't overpacked. Like whatever I wanted to do, there wasn't a wait for it, so that was good. And even with all of that, like I kind of partnered with Walter Keller from Safety Harbor Firearms, who I rode up with and stayed with. So it's like we'd go to a vendor and we'd shoot their guns. Like Walter would shoot them, I'd shoot video of him, and vice versa. So we kind of partnered up and got content that way. So that worked out good. So we pretty, I definitely missed people. I didn't shoot the pen gun. There was a company that had basically ballpoint pen. It would write, and it was also a gun. So I didn't get to shoot that. There are a couple of things, but lot of cool stuff there. Lot of good vendors. So that was good. And so what I thought was great about the GOA is you had a range day, you had a media day on Friday. And then Saturday, Sunday was open to the public. So, if you're media, YouTuber, whatever, you get to see people. So Fluffy Bunny Arsenal was there. I know John said he saw a few people there, but I saw like friends of friends and stuff like that. So Night Strike had a friend come out and we talked to him. Night Strike wasn't there, but I think Dark saw a couple of people. Crump, you said you signed some autographs.
Yeah, I know. That was kind of weird. Yeah, that was
That's fun.
bizarre. But no. It's just something I'm not really used to.
No, the only thing I got to sign was some stay away orders from some people. But it was fantastic, man. I mean, the best thing that I heard from Media Day was all the YouTubers and all the media guys were saying we did in one day what traditionally was 3 days worth of work in terms of filming and capturing footage and all that, because, and you know, it's, I'm not saying the public is bad, but it's just when people are filming, you know, you have to have certain space, you have to have a little cordoned off area. And as we know with SHOT Show, for instance, what happens? Someone walks in, they stop, they realize they're on cameras, the deer in headlights, and they're like, they freeze and they don't know if they should go left or right. With this, since everyone on Media Day was pretty much a professional, they understood, oh, you're filming, okay, I'll go around you. Or, oh, you're filming, I'm going to be quiet. It was great.
You know, I don't know that I had to wait. I mean, like Walter and I, we went, you know, a couple of booths. So Walter would shoot a video, I'd shoot a video. So yeah, I thought it was a really good event. I liked definitely that the public was involved, because you know, things like SHOT Show the public can't go to, so it's always fun. And actually Spicy Friday was good, so Johnny B did a live show, which was a lot of fun.
Yep. Yeah, it was fantastic from the ground up, man. I mean, great speakers, great panels, great classes. We had regional meetups for GOA members, so they could, you know, if you were from the Southeast, you got to meet all the different state directors and regional directors from the Southeast. So, of course, people from our Florida peeps got to meet me, but you know, people from Georgia and the Carolinas and Mississippi and so on, they got to meet their people. You know, again, it was great. I mean, for our first event, I had someone tell me, oh man, I've worked the trade show and convention circuit on the electronic side. You guys ran this as if you've been putting this on for 10 to 15 years. It was professional. It was well done. It was choreographed. It was fantastic.
Yeah. And I think next week, I think not next week, next year, it's going to be bigger, but it was a roaring success. I was nervous, to tell you the truth. But apparently there's nothing to be worried about. A lot of good speakers. I got to go out to dinner with Lieutenant Governor Mark Robinson, which was kind of cool. I got to meet and exchange numbers with Glenn Kane Jacobs.
Oh yeah. Now, is he the mayor of Knoxville?
He's the mayor of Knox County.
That's cool.
Yeah, so that was kind of cool, you know. Got to see.
I'm surprised that GOA HQ let me off the leash and out of the cage and allowed me to be 100% Miami Cuban Florida man on a floor for 3 days.
Yeah, you had your Cuban necklace and everything.
Yep, 100%. You can take the Cuban out of Miami, but you can't take the Miami out of the Cuban.
I'm changing your name to Latino Heat.
So where will it be next year?
Is that a public
spot, brother?
Okay, so it is public. Okay, I wasn't sure if it was public or not. Yeah, it's going to be in the same spot. It is going to be in Knoxville. I'm hearing it to be a little bit bigger next year. And from talking to a lot of the vendors, I think everyone's coming back. I didn't speak to one vendor that said they weren't coming back. All the vendors were happy. The speakers were happy. It was a really, really well put on show, and I think that it has the opportunity to rival, if not surpass, some of the bigger shows.
It already has a core cadre of vendors. I've heard that some other big industry names are looking at next year already.
Yeah, I heard that too.
And one of and everyone I spoke to flat out said, we're coming back. And on top of that, they said, we're coming back to your show. We're going to skip some of the other shows because your show is already awesome enough. and we want to make your show even better. So the fact that some of the vendors are skipping some of the other shows next year, that really says a lot, because, traditionally people have always, vendors have always gone to the same series of shows. For them to ditch one to come to us says something.
Yeah, what am I hearing is from several people that do another big show. Not going to say which show, but it might be from another gun organization. They said they actually did more business at Goals than there.
So that's the other thing. At Goals, the vendors, I bought a bunch of magazines or magazines from at least 2 different companies. Actually, Rod from Aegis, so I bought a cleaning kit and some grease from him. So the vendors can sell stuff, which is cool.
Right.
Yep.
And NRA can sell stuff too, but it seems like I guess it's a different crowd. So there are a lot of fuddy-duddies that go to like NRA, NRAM. So I think,
give me a sec. I'm going to grab something that was custom made at Goals. Give me a second.
Just as long as it's not a
Not a firearm. That's my job. That's my job to hold up firearms on the live stream.
Yeah. That would suck.
I'm waiting to see what he comes back with, and I'm hoping it's not a firearm. Is Lewis YouTube aware? Is he YouTube savvy?
I don't know. That's the whole thing.
It is not a firearm. It's
Okay.
for a firearm.
Oh, okay.
Ah, cool.
That's fine.
Yep. Nice outside the waist Kydex holster. Got one made for a Glock and Smith & Wesson revolvers.
Nice. Oh, that's cool.
Yeah. Yeah, guy made it on the spot at the show. So
Look, that's really cool.
yeah.
So, Lewis, I got a question about GOA Florida lawsuits. Which I'm gonna like nibble around the edges. So, in case you've been living under a rock, and in our audience, I am the GOA plaintiff for open carry in Florida. But there's another Florida law that drives me crazy. Was after the Parkland school shooting, they rushed through a law that says you can't have an enhanced trigger. Now, nobody's been arrested for that. I don't, and typically, I'm guessing the 2 firearms you'd probably have an enhanced trigger in would be a Glock or an AR.
Yeah.
But how would anyone know? And, I've been reading through lawsuits, and just like we were talking about the FRT earlier today, because there was some breaking news on that the ATF got their junk smacked in a door again. It's like, yeah, no, we're not going to stay this until an appeal. We're keeping you guys in a box. You do not get to enforce laws on FRTs that don't exist. So I don't know if GOA is interested in going after the trigger, the enhanced trigger, but that would be something to go after.
I think GOA is interested in going after a lot of things, to tell you the truth.
It comes down to 3 things: time, money, and venue. I guarantee you that is on my list of things to challenge on the state level here in Florida, because, as you know, the bump stock ban in Florida is so poorly written that it also bans FRT triggers, it bans binary triggers, and like you said, with Glock and AR. If I have a factory Glock and I drop in like an Apex or a Ghost trigger in it, I've technically increased the rate of fire. Same thing if I have an AR and I drop like a Geisley in it, You can have some leftist state attorney's office like in Palm Beach or Broward County or Leon County and say, oh yeah, you increased the rate of fire. That's now a felony, and that's the problem. But I want to challenge that. We are going to challenge that, and I believe that will be challenged after we are victorious in our current lawsuit. But as you're aware, it comes down to time, money, and venue. But I see it being challenged, no matter what. I'm not going to stop fighting. And, as organizationally, we're not going to stop fighting.
Yep.
There's anything that increases the usefulness of a trigger.
Yeah.
So basically everything.
Yeah. Basically, if it's not the factory stock trigger, it's enhanced.
Yep.
Which then leads to, so if I buy a PSA AR-15 that's fully built, and then I buy a PSA AR-15 lower and throw a Geisley trigger in it, I didn't enhance it. But if I take that Geisley trigger and put it in the already built PSA lower, then I enhanced it.
Yeah, that's the problem. It's so poorly written. They don't know, there's no foundation to it. I mean, it's up to interpretation, and that's the problem.
Yeah. So I think there's a lot to challenge. I think there's some good red meat there for us to go after.
There is a lot of good red meat there, and I think it will. But it all comes down to time and money, mostly money.
Yeah.
And that's why it's important to support organizations like Gun Owners of America and other organizations like that because of money.
Exactly. And going back to our lawsuit, the open carry and under 21 carry lawsuit. What's interesting is the Florida Attorney General Ashley Moody, she just stated on Twitter, a couple of days ago or sometime last week, I am a little bit dazed and confused after working the convention and building everything and tearing it down. But I think long term, it was maybe a week ago. But she sent an amicus brief in regards to the under 21 lawsuit that happened out in Minnesota. And she sent out a tweet saying, I'm the most pro-gun AG in the state of Florida, blah, 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 blah. And my reply to her was, prove it. Don't reply to our lawsuit under the 21-day time frame and let the preliminary injunction automatically take effect, and don't defend the under 21 carry ban and the open carry ban. Prove how pro-gun you are. Let those stupid bans die.
But will they? Probably not.
That's the question. But it's an election year. Today is literally the primary election here in Florida. So between now and November, all the incumbent Republicans are going to have to prove how pro-gun they are and defend their stance on why, as Republican lawmakers in the state legislature, they haven't voted on in repealing open carry and the under 21 carry ban.
Yep.
And they're going to have to defend why a gun rights organization is suing them. It's going to be interesting. In the end, all these so-called pro-gun Republicans are going to have to prove and state why they're defending gun control.
Yeah, they will. They really will.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it's definitely interesting, and we saw like some other organizations actually oppose like an open carry amendment, and because they didn't want to have the people that they support go on record for it, which I think is pretty despicable, but that's just what I think.
Yep.
You have two different politics. You have confrontational politics, and then you have the other politics, which is like access-based politics.
Access-based lobbying, yeah.
Access-based lobbying, and I don't like access-based lobbying. I've been on record for saying I don't like access-based lobbying for a while, and I don't, because I think what you do is you're giving the people an out to try to get along with them.
Well, my entire philosophy is confrontational politics. I don't go to Tallahassee to make friends. I go to Tallahassee to get things done. And if I bruise their egos and I make them feel bad for stating the truth, oh, well, it is what it is. They could do their jobs better. It's We, the people, hire them to do what we want. It's not the other way around. We don't work for lawmakers. Lawmakers work for us. And anywhere else in the work environment, if you don't do your job, you get fired. But apparently, with lawmakers not doing their job, they think they can still keep their jobs. No. So I have no problem going to Tallahassee, calling them out on their bull, and flat out challenging them and saying, prove it. As you know, Rich, last year we tried to get an open carry amendment added to the permitless carry bill. They shot that down. This year we had Representative Mike Beltran introduce an open carry bill that we poured blood, sweat, and tears in drafting. They shot that down. Fine, screw it. We'll do it. We'll do it live. We'll sue them in court. Let them prove how pro-gun they are. And I'm even stating this in regards to the governor. I asked the governor last year, do you support open carry? He said, I do, but the legislature doesn't. Okay, Governor, why haven't you cracked the whip and used your office as a bully pulpit to openly challenge the legislature? Governor Brian Kemp of Georgia did that. Governor Greg Abbott of Texas did that. I still haven't heard anything from DeSantis.
I thought DeSantis said he would do an extended session for open carry. Didn't he say that?
He did, and his response was only if he had the votes for it.
Okay.
And that's a cop-out of not using his political power, because he could just keep calling special sessions and make lawmakers' lives miserable until they vote. If they don't vote, if the votes aren't there, fine, just keep calling them to Tallahassee. So either one of three things will happen. They'll run out the clock, which won't happen. They'll either resign their office out of madness, or they'll say, after the third or fourth time of being called back, they'll say, fine, we'll do it. Here you go. But the governor hasn't done that.
So what I understand is it's the Florida Board of Tourism that prevents open carry.
Not at all.
Really?
It's the Florida Sheriff's Association that is vehemently against.
So not Grady Judd.
Yeah. Grady Judd definitely is probably one of the issues. He puts on a great public show, but I've yet to see him publicly endorse open carry.
Oh.
Remember, Grady Judd, Polk County, enforces more red flag laws than Dade and Broward County combined.
Oh, shoot. I had no clue.
Yep.
Wow.
Yeah, I got a question for you.
No.
Okay.
What's the question, brother?
The question is, at Goals, what is your most favorite item that you saw? Getting back on Goals, since this whole show is about Goals.
Okay.
My most favorite item that I saw.
I got an answer.
I want to hear yours.
All right. So I didn't realize what it was, but Shooting Gallery New England sent me a video of this like on Thursday, which was range day. And I looked at it and I didn't quite understand what I was looking at until I saw it was 5.7 caliber. Everybody knows I'm a bit of a 5.7 nut. I've got almost every gun ever built to shoot 5.7. So this one company built like a 5.7 breakdown backpack gun, a single shot, and it's pretty cool. You know, a bolt action single shot. And I was talking with the guy, and that needs like a magazine saddle that you can put on the barrel. I could 3D print that you can drop the rounds in, so you could feed another one. So I thought that was cool. Walter definitely said he was getting one. Walter Keller.
First, you had my attention. Now you have my interest, because the thought of having a bolt action in 5.7 by 28 is dramatically intriguing. Because I have a short-barreled PS90, so yes. But
I got the Keltec P50 also. I got the other gun that uses that magazine.
Yep. You know, in terms of firearms, part of my job was running the armory and safety checking all the firearms on display. So I pretty much saw everything. And honestly, there was so much cool stuff, but what grabbed my attention was TSOS had their hard chrome 38 Super 9mm conversion 1911. It's just think of a GI 45 slab slide has no markings, but high polished chrome, nice grips, and it comes in 38 Super with a spare 9mm barrel. And the problem with that gun is that they only bring about 50 of them into the country every month. And I told them, look, if I have to sell a kidney, I'm going to get one. And they were like, all right, fine. Here's a business card. Give us a call. We'll try to put one aside for you. And I was like, oh, yay. Finally, my backbreaking labor of building the GOA booths paid off. It's a good thing that they're right across from us. But I was excited to see that because I've only seen them online, and to see it in person, the quality of the polish and the hard chrome finish is fantastic. I mean, that is something that I would proudly open carry in Florida once we win open carry. It's like, okay, that might be the piece to celebrate.
So, Crump, what did you see you liked?
Well, I saw a lot of different things that I liked. One of the things that I found really interesting was the pen gun.
Yes,
that was cool.
It was actually a pen that you wrote with. And it's called Liberty Manufacturing to make it. Let me see if I can find a picture of it.
Yeah, I saw it in person. It's they took the idea of the old OSS pen gun from World War II and modernized it, and I was like, okay, that's nifty. It's not a Stinger; it's a legitimate pen gun.
Yeah, let me. I'm going to share the screen of it so I can show everyone what I'm talking about, because I thought it was really interesting. It's highly not practical.
But who cares? Half the guns I own aren't practical. They just put a smile on my face.
But it's cool as shit.
Oh, yeah. Yep.
Oh, here it is. So this is what it looks like, guys. And I'm going to be going out to Kentucky. And Rich, you can come with me if you want. To manufacturing. Are you going?
There we go. Yep, that's it.
Yeah, it actually writes and everything. It's very hard to actually. The price of it is kind of expensive.
But it's a niche novelty firearm. It's not intended to be a self-defense tool. The whole thing for that is for someone that buys that is like, okay, I got everything else that's practical. Now I just want to have fun toys, and that's what that is. It's the same thing with me having my high quality bang stick for scuba diving. It's a 357 bang stick. It's a single shot, but it's high grade aircraft aluminum and stainless steel. It's not cheap, but it's just one of those of like, yeah, you don't see everyone with a 357 bang stick to work underwater with. So it's the same principle, and it's cool and it's fun.
Yeah, it was really fun to shoot. The Stinger was fun to shoot. The Stinger round.
Yeah.
Because I had a little bit of recoil to it. The 22 long rifle didn't really have that much of recoil, but when you fired a Stinger through it, it did definitely have a little bit of a recoil. I thought that was kind of cool.
Yep.
So
out of all the things that you saw and all the what really impressed me was just the people. You had people from all four corners of the country, from all walks of life, all economic classes of life, and they were all there together. And they all believed in the same thing, and they all believed in the Second Amendment. They believed in Americans being able to be free, be armed, not be under the boots of oppression of government tyranny. And it was all under one roof. And what really impressed me is, compared to what's going on right now in Chicago, I guarantee you there was more people at Goals that understood what shall not be infringement than what an entire communist factory that is the DNC in Chicago right now.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, that was pretty cool. One of the panels, which I think that a lot of that should have been on the main stage, that was in the forum, but because they had a lot of good information, was the GOA legal panel.
Yes.
With Rob Olson, Steven Stambolia, James Phillips, Gilbert Ambler. That was a freaking fantastic a panel right there. And we're going to have Steven and James on the show the next week or so.
Oh, cool. Yeah, Steven said I haven't reached out to James, but
well, James wrote back and said he agreed to it. So
okay, cool.
Let him know when.
Cool beans.
So we're gonna have Steven and James both on the show on different days to discuss everything,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the panels were excellent. I was on the state and local panel and the police panel, and to reiterate what I said in the police panel, right now police are the vanguards of the state, but in reality, police need to have a solid, long-term conversation with themselves in the mirror and realize that they're not the vanguards of the state; they're the vanguards of the people, and their primary role is to protect the people from government oppression, not to enforce government oppression. And I think that message carried loud and clear within the crowd and with those watching. And I stand by that statement as a former LEO, because when we took that oath, when we raised our right hand, we swore to uphold the entirety of the Constitution, not just the pieces we like or dislike. And one of the biggest issues that I constantly remember from my LE career is there was some, I will never forget it. There was some that literally said, it would be nice if the Fourth and Fifth Amendment didn't exist anymore because it would make our jobs easier. And I just kind of look at them like, no.
Yeah,
so,
wow.
Yeah, I think American law enforcement needs to have a good long talk about that. Now, not all cops think like that, thank God. But I still think career-wise, there needs to be a good long talk, and people need to remember that all of their authority, all of their power is vested into them by the people. Ultimately, it's not the legislature, it's not the governor, it's not the city mayor, it's not the president, it's the people. And I was proud to be in that panel and make that statement, and I truly believe in it.
Yeah, that was a great panel. That was right after the legal panel. And we got some product launches, including the Canic GOA pistol.
That's pretty cool.
They
have a Mate, which is a GOA pistol.
They are building a plant in Florida, so very soon they're going to be Florida made.
So not Turkish, Florida?
Yeah, they're transferring. I'm not even sure if that's public knowledge, but now it is. So yeah, I thought that was under embargo.
Well, they told me, so if they told me, that's public.
Note to self: don't tell Lewis anything.
I mean, I am Cuban. I am loud.
Yeah, and there is another firearm coming out that's going to be GOA centric, and that is a Gun Owners of America Henry rifle, which I'm going to share here.
Yep.
It's
cool.
They've actually.
So is there going to be a Henry Florida Man edition?
We just have to find something to get your image, your face your face on a Florida cowboy shooting an AR, riding an alligator, and it needs to be on the side of a rifle.
And you guys think that's a joke, but it actually isn't, which is the scary part. But they have the Henry Big X a Big Boy X model with the GOA written on it. I kind of like this one with the logo, the Henry Lever Action Octagon Frontier GOA Tribute Rifle. So 22 long rifle. The other one is 357 and 38 special. I will probably end up picking up both.
You can never go wrong with a 357 lever. I mean, they're just so versatile.
Yeah, so this is like, I think these are like, there's two guns here. So this is because there is a GOA themed 22 AR-15 made by Titman Arms, which I have. I got to get the Canic now, and I got to get the 2 Henrys.
Yep. But overall, you know, it was a fantastic show. The fact that all the vendors I spoke to said they're coming back next year, that some of them flat out said, we're going to your show, we're skipping some other shows, and that you're going to have some other big names there. That's it's impressive.
I know one company that is talking about coming. That's a really big name that they didn't go this year, but I think they're coming next year.
Yeah, there was a great lineup of speakers. It was fantastic, and the parking. So the parking, we're going to have increased parking for next year just because of the sheer volume of people that showed up. Like, okay.
Oh, cool.
We're looking to have increased parking. Also, if more vendors show up, my understanding is that there is a separate building on the property, because, you know, you had 2 conventions going on at the same time. You had Goals, and then I think you had the tattoo convention.
Mm-hmm.
That is also under the same ownership. And they already said, yeah, if you guys get enough, you guys could take over that too. So, I mean, it's going to be.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, next year is looking already to possibly not just eclipse this, but outright blow it out of the water in terms of bigger, better, and being more bad.
Yeah, and with the GOA partnership with Brownells now, Pete Brownell, I mean, it's
cool.
going to be big. It's going to get big. Next year is going to be even bigger. Shout out to Forge Relations. Those guys helped GOA put it on, and they did one hell of a job. Talking to Will Ranke, who is one of the partners in Forge Relations, and he did a hell of a job with it. Kaylee and John from GOA, they did a great job as well. I heard Hoffman Tactical lost a car or something like that.
A car?
Yeah, they forgot where they parked.
Not they, Tim Hoffman.
Did he ever find it?
Yeah. He was going up and down each floor in this one parking garage, and it was the one next door to it where his car was. So I'm walking around with an AR-15, not in a case, waiting to get
at least you're in Tennessee where they have open carry. That ain't a problem. Picture if that was here. You know, we would have. So there would have been some deputy sheriff trying to arrest you for that here.
Right. I'm going up and down a parking elevator with an AR.
And no one bothered you or hassled you about it.
No, that's true.
That's the difference. That's why we're suing Florida.
Tony Simon was there. He was on the veterans panel.
I want to do a shout out for Aaron from West Virginia, a fantastic volunteer. The guy was an absolute beast in helping us set up the main GOA booth and the GOA store and all of our secondary booths like Gun Owners of California, GOF, 2A Defenders, the Second Amendment Hunters, the Empowered booth, and then all the work he did on the floor during the show days. The guy was an absolute beast, killed it, and was a volunteer. So, Aaron, if you're watching this, man, my hat's off to you, sir. You were fantastic. So thank you for volunteering. And also the other group of fine degenerates that I worked with, Chris, Mike, Alex, the other Alex, Monty. It was all of you guys were fantastic. Jed worked his butt off. I mean, so many people. There was just so many people from GOA that bent over backwards to build, to stock, to handle our vendors, to handle our members, to deal with guest relations, to answer any and all questions. It was just, man, it was a great team to work with. And I'm proud to have worked with those people, both GOA employees and all the volunteers. And there was such a good group of people. Sadly, I forgot names because there was just so many of us working, but all of them, they all did it.
Yeah, I met a lot of people from all around the world, not all around the world, all around the country, from like California, everywhere. Well, it just came in for the event.
Wow.
It was really cool. I really absolutely thought it was great.
Okay, I know Walter Keller at Safety Harbor Firearms is laughing. I'll have to tell 2AEDU why later.
Yeah, 2AEDU was there. Got to hang out with 2AEDU. The amount of YouTubers there was insane. It looked like everyone came in. There was more YouTubers there than I shot.
So, John, I got to ask you, when is my ugly mug of an interview being posted on your channel, man?
I got to just get it all edited. I was going to get it all edited Sunday night, but due to weather, I ended up being delayed multiple times. I didn't get home till late. And then last night, we had to do a couple of things because it was my wife's birthday, so we had to go out to eat, have cake, all that other good stuff. And
Ooh, your wife's birthday and I guess Walter's wife's birthday are on the same day.
I saw that. Happy birthday, Peggy. Happy late birthday, Peggy.
I thought, that's a great excuse. I thought the reason why you just couldn't get it was because I broke your camera, just because of this. As I say, I have a face for radio and a voice for literature, so I'm surprised, man. I'm surprised your camera just didn't spontaneously combust when recording me that day.
Yeah, so
I was 100% Florida man to the max.
It's coming out this week. It just it's gonna take a little bit of time. I was hoping to have some out today, some out tomorrow, but it just didn't happen. So
you got to hack into the NSA supercomputer to make me look presentable. I get it, man. I understand.
Yes. I was actually using my AI to clone you to make you say really inappropriate things to get you canceled.
How is that any different than me every day?
Yeah. This is funny. I've interviewed, this is the fourth time I've interviewed 2AEDU. You know what the chances of a file being corrupt is?
1 in a million? 1 in a billion?
Out of the 4 times I've interviewed 2AEDU, 3 of them, this is the only one that I haven't checked it yet. Hopefully it's not corrupted, but the other 3 got corrupted somehow. I've never seen anything like it. What the hell?
All right. So Tony mentions the bounce house story. All I gotta say is I'm funnier than Tony Simon.
Wait, what's
the story? I gotta hear this.
No, I'm not telling that. No. It's not G-rated, so I'm not telling the bounce house story. Crump, you don't know the bounce house story?
No. I'm gonna have to hear this at some point.
I'm waiting for it.
Yep.
Okay, well.
Awkward silence.
I'll tell it on DLD After Dark, but Dark said he was having no show tonight.
Oh, he's not?
No, he's got his daughter today.
So, since you guys got to go to the range day while I was slaving away, regale me with stories. How was it? How was range day?
It was
hot.
It was hot. It was crowded with a lot of vendors. It was one of the best range days I've been to.
Oh yeah.
Now I heard when range day started during the singing of the national anthem, that there was a coordinated firearm salute towards the end of the anthem.
Yeah, home of the brave. Everyone let loose, and I was able to be part of the Mad Minute. I magged up from a Anderson front line.
Same here.
Nice.
Which, but yeah, hot ass range day.
I can tell you this: the convention center was hot on range day because they didn't have the AC on while we were building it.
Oh man, no.
Yeah, they only turn the AC on when you people show up. When we show up to build stuff, they're like, "You don't need AC."
The front line was pretty good. I mag dumped on it. I'm gonna be doing. I have one.
I shot a full auto front line. I can't. I must have had the video on another camera, but I haven't downloaded the video yet.
Yeah, so it was pretty damn good.
Good.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun.
So, out of all the stuff from range day, what was your favorite thing you guys shot?
I was getting hit by empties too, Walter. Yeah, Walter.
Oh, you did the hot brass dance?
Yeah, dude, I love the pin gun. I just love it. It's so inaccurate. I was sitting like 5 feet away, and I missed the target, and the target's like this big.
So I'm not Mr. Long Range Shooter or anything like that. You know, I got a 50 BMG just because people don't want you to have one, so I got one. But I shot an Accuracy International, like I think it was 1,400 yards. So they had it set up on a truck. You know, all I had to do is like not shake and pull the trigger.
Yeah.
So that was pretty cool.
Yeah. So probably that's the longest you've ever shot.
Yeah.
You don't have long shots in Florida. It's just one, we're flat, so you don't have like mountain to mountain over a valley shot. And the other thing is we're so densely wooded. People don't realize that if you go off the road in Central or North Florida into the woods, it's not like how they show it on TV where, oh, it's, a tree here and a tree there and open space. No, it's just a solid wall of vegetation that it's like hitting a concrete wall. So there is no long shot. Here it's all about close range, massive penetration of brush, and that's it. Like the longest shot here in Florida is maybe 150 yards, 200 yards, and that's if you're shooting from one end of a cultivated field on a farm to the other end of the field if you're hunting. But
my longest shot is 1 mile with a Ritter and Stark, which they don't have anymore. That's an expensive rifle. That was an expensive rifle. With 338 at Lapua.
Yeah. Yeah, 338 is a great long distance cartridge.
It sounds more impressive than what it was because I had a Marine Scout sniper being my spotter, which makes a huge difference. And you can walk
that shows you why spotters exist. That's the whole purpose.
Yeah. So,
spotters there to walk in the shooter.
Yeah. But
so, if there's anything that you want for next year, what would it be for next year?
Bigger radio row so I can do the podcast from there.
Ooh.
I completely forgot we had that. Where was that located? And everything I was doing, I forgot that.
It was in the back. But yeah, bigger radio row. I mean, I probably could have got it there. I wasn't sure if I was going to be able to make it or not this year.
Okay. Rich, what would you like to see next year?
I think on Saturday and Sunday you had food trucks, but I would like more food options.
Okay.
I thought everything was good. this might be a dumb thing, but maybe like a lounge area where you could sit down.
Okay. Hey, no, I'm serious. I want to hear what you guys think because, like I said, we want to make next year bigger and better.
There was a lounge
Because
area where
sometimes,
media could sit down.
all right. So
We had
wife.
that. There was a media lounge, and there was like a Life member and a Patriot member lounge. But
Oh, okay.
I think you mean for like, everyday, for a regular member. Yeah.
Dude, the Patriot lounge, the Life member lounge was pretty good.
Oh, maybe I just need to pony up and become a Life member.
The Life member is pretty good. They had these like really white chocolate macadamia nut cookies. They had brownies. They had mouse pads, free hats.
Yep.
Walter left his trail mix in my car.
You guys got more swag than I did. The only swag I got was exhaustion and good memories. But
nah, dude, I didn't really do the swag.
And so my wife and daughter think I lie about it. Any of these events, it's exhausting. Whether even the range day was like Chris from the 740, him and his son and the crew that came with him, they left like 1 o'clock. I stuck it out, and sneakers that I've had for more than a year that are broken in were painful. Whatever day it was, because you're on your feet all day. You get up early. You're on your feet all day. You're maybe hanging out late. Like, we would go over to the Gideon Optics house and hang out with the guys there or whatever. A lot of late nights, early mornings, on your feet all day, sleeping in a strange place. And my wife and daughter think it's a vacation all the time. My daughter asked me today, she's like, so you aren't lying about that? I'm like, no, I couldn't wait to get home. Not as much fun as I had and as good as it is to see people. Like, I barely saw Crump. I barely saw Dark. Like, we saw each other for a couple minutes.
We barely saw each other, all three of us. I mean, it was just, and then
it's work for me. It literally is work for me.
Yeah, same here. It was not for me. It wasn't a vacation. It was work from beginning to end. It was work, but there was pride in that work because it was all of our hard work and dedication to the organization to making GOA what it is. And it was seeing the physical manifestation of all of those years of work. And
yeah, it definitely, I got a second. It was like you guys been doing this forever. Everything was really good.
Yeah, it was. I really think it was fantastic because members from all across the country finally got to put a face to a name and a name to a face.
Mm-hmm.
They got to meet the people that represent them. They got to ask questions about, hey, why is this happening in this state, or what's going on in this state, or how can I get more involved? And that was really the great thing, especially in the regional meetups, was a lot of people were like, I want to get involved. I want to get more active on the state and local level. What can I do? And it was fantastic because honestly, that's what makes GOA fantastic is, we follow the nation's motto, e pluribus unum, out of many one. Together, we all make this thing great. And he's got something sharp and pointy. I like that. But together we make this thing great, and that's what made it fantastic. Oh, I like
got
that.
The
nice.
Black Swan Media apps.
Overall, it was fantastic.
Oh yeah. I was impressed. It definitely was like you guys been doing this forever.
And you saw that because of the dedication. This wasn't a staff working goals just because, we're paid to be there. We were enthusiastic to be there.
In other places, people are like, oh, it's not my job. Not one person there was like, oh no, talk to them. I don't know. They're like, hold on, let me help you. It's when you had a question with something, they're like, let's get this figured out. No, nobody was like, not my job. I don't do that.
I kind of agree with Tony Simon though. I think like more information.
So I think management of the information, and it was interesting because Walter was getting emails I may have gotten but didn't see, and talking about some things. But I think there were some questions. I think the emails could have been tuned a little better, like click here for directions and addresses, click here for like just more bullet pointed and less PR. Because
Okay.
when you're reading an email on your phone, like when you get them, like there were daily emails which I thought were good. It's like, hey, opens up at whatever AM, closes at whatever PM would be great. Like, hey, today's, like really quick being able to click into like the who, what, when, where, why type thing. Like, hey, parking is here, these garages. Like, one of the things we didn't know, what was the address of the convention center? Like, buildings like that typically don't have an address, but we kind of drove around in a circle for a little bit trying to find where to park. I actually, I was with Chris from the 740, and I'd scoped out parking buildings and how much it costs to park a month in advance. So I would have had that probably figured out, but it wasn't easy
Not
for us
everyone
that
does
morning.
that. Yeah, not every, so that's a great critique, and of course we will take that under advisement, because unlike some other shows and other organizations, we actually listen to our members. So we want, like I said, we want to make it better. So I'm not here viewing it as, oh no, you didn't like. I'm here viewing it as, all right, that was an issue. That's a legitimate issue. Note taken. We will resolve that, and we will fix it for next year, because even though this was our first event and it looked like we've been doing this forever, this is our first event. So yeah, there were hiccups. A lot of it was internal, in just terms of like, hey, how do we do this, or how is this set up, and how is this built, but we pushed through
I'll tell you what not
we
to
got
do.
it going.
What I hate, and it's good and I hate it, is SHOT Show application. That is horrific, because every time I go to it, I've got to watch a Daniel Defense ad. Then it needs to update, and there's no data connection because everybody's there. Don't do that.
Yeah, I think we're not going to do that. I definitely think we're not going to do that. I know, because I've registered for SHOT as media, and even that is convoluted, and they try to make it streamlined.
Oh, yeah. Oh, that's just like checking out with U-Haul. They're like, they a la carte you as a media person going to SHOT Show. They a la carte you. It's like, oh, do you want to contribute to this? Do you want to that? It's like, no, I just want my free credentials. I'm a cheap SOB. There should be like a panic button on the bottom. Cheap SOB checkout. Me. Express exit.
They should name it cheap SOB. They should just say rich. If you are rich, click here. So of course everyone
still watching. I hope he's laughing.
So of course everyone will be like, I'm not rich, I'm poor, I'm not clicking there. But they won't understand that it's just you.
It's me.
All right, guys, that is it for today. We're going to let you go, but you can always go to florida.gunowners.org, right?
Yep, florida.gunowners.org, and especially just gunowners.org for all your national and state news. So, and if you want to follow me on X, it's Real Florida Gun Lobby, or I'm sorry, Real FL Gun Lobby.
What is up with the Real Asian Gun Lobby, the Real FL Gun Lobby, the Real Gun Lobby?
Because we're the real ones. Hey, the shirt says it, man. We're not the phonies. We're the legits. We've got to stand out on that.
All right, I gotcha. Oh my God, no! Don't even bring it up, Rich. But don't. But you know what I'm talking about. But one other thing: are the dates set for next year?
That is above my pay grade. But unlike some other places, I'll find out and I'll try to get you an answer.
All right. Thank you so much. And with that, we are out of here. See you guys later.